This is the Training Camp Podcast.
Whoa.
I'm just going to try out new things every week until we land on something that's tolerable.
I think that's pretty tolerable.
So, Paul, RJ, how you guys doing?
I'm all right.
Doing just fine.
That's good. Paul, I've been meaning to ask you, have you made any bread lately?
I have. I've made some wonderful bread. A nice.
What kind of bread did you make?
I made a nice garlic and rosemary loaf of bread.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
Oh man.
Yeah, just a little kind of like inspired by some Food Network Martha Stewart kind of thing that I saw online that I just kind of threw together some ingredients and baked it, and it didn't totally fall flat, and it didn't totally burn either, so I'd say it was a success.
That sounds nice, man. Emily made a rosemary loaf a few weeks ago. We actually took rosemary from our garden, so that was even like a little bit more rustic. But what do you do with that? Yeah. Do you make sandwiches on that? Do you just put in a little bit of olive oil and just kind of enjoy it that way?
Yeah, kind of both actually. Yeah, I have made sandwiches with it.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, with the garlic bread does go pretty nice. But then otherwise I have dipped it in olive oil, or even just ate it with cheese kind of thing.
Man,
it's a good time.
That is nice to have. I for whatever reason today, I remembered I wanted to ask you this on the podcast, so I was like, you know what? I wanted to make a sourdough starter for a really long time. Yeah. So I did that tonight, which was
get out of here.
Super easy. Have you looked into that at all?
I haven't looked into it. Like I know that you have to make a starter kind of thing, and you just kind of keep feeding it. but no, I haven't done one myself. I haven't really done a lot of research towards it. How did yours go? How's it starting?
It's really easy. All you do is the direction. I read Instructable's directions, but what I ended up doing was I used a half cup of wheat flour. I'm kind of going all just whole wheat for this one and see how that works.
Oh, cool.
And I don't think it matters a whole lot. I mean, it makes two different types of starters, whether what flour you use. They recommended half white, half wheat, but I was just like, screw it, I'm doing all wheat because I just want to see how this turns out. And so just half a cup of flour and water, and just put it in a jar and mix it together. And then every 12 hours you feed it that same amount with warm water, half a cup of flour, stir it a little bit until it's not like dough, but so it just kind of sticks together.
Right.
And then you just set that at room temperature on your counter or somewhere. And you do that, I think, for a week, and then you move it into the fridge. Right. And then you got to look out for some, just there are some signs, it'll start bubbling, which means the yeast is in it and it's active. And then you kind of just, I think at that point you can start using it where you just take half of it out, and then you use that for your bread, where you mix it with the rest of the flour that you have in the recipe.
Yeah.
And then you feed it to replace it. So you put in a quarter cup of flour or whatever. But it's, right. I mean, I think that it's super easy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, I should definitely look into that too, because that's kind of what I've heard is, it's that kind of process, that it's the monster that lives in the back of your fridge kind of thing that you just kind of, you keep feeding it every now and then, and you take from it to make bread.
It's like a pet.
Yeah,
you
I know,
right? Put a little label on it. It just says yeasty.
Yeah, just a little manja. But yeah, no, I've heard it's not terribly difficult, but at the same, just like anything else, there is a little bit of an art to it that you kind of you tweak it every now and then, and you make it your own. But yeah, that's awesome. You got that started. I'll have to do one of my own one of these days.
Oh yeah. RJ, how's your bread turning out?
Why are we talking about bread? It's 5 minutes of breadcast.
That's 5 minutes of breadcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was your weekly breadcast, brought to you by the Training Camp.
So RJ, how are your fitness goals going with Pokemon Go? What have you been up to?
I didn't do shit. I'm be honest with you.
We're
I
supposed
sat
to hold
around
each
and
other
played
accountable
video games
here.
all weekend.
You've been at the No Man's Sky a little too much.
Yep.
You didn't get out
I've
there.
been running in that.
Oh man. So since we last recorded, did you actually end up like getting anything new that you didn't have before?
Yeah, I hatched a few eggs with new stuff. I think I got, just off the top of my head, I know I got a Chia Dude.
Ooh,
I got
nice.
a Magnemite. Ooh, there's a new building. Well, it's not a new building, but there's a nest that they added in a building at work, and it spawns Abras sometimes. So I've actually been able to get some of those.
Oh, that's pretty
that's
cool.
Yeah, I've seen
Jealous of
those
that.
before, like once or twice, but they always ran away.
Oh really?
Yep.
Yeah, I've yet to see an Abra.
Huh. Okay. Cool. What about you, Paul? How are your fitness goals going?
They're coming along. I did hatch a couple more eggs this week. They were, one of them was a 5K. One of them was a 2K that I just kind of did at the same time. But yeah, what did I get? I finally got Eradicate hatched out of one of them. I still had yet to see Eradicate, so that was a new Pokemon. I feel like that's one of the most common Pokemon there are. But so I was excited about that. And then the other one was just a good old Pidgey again. I've hatched a couple of Pidgeys at this point. I'm really hoping to start getting some more rare Pokemon, or at least a couple of the starters. I still have yet to find. I started with my Bulbasaur, and I still have yet to find any other Bulbasaurs or Squirtles or Charmanders or anything.
I want a Venusaur so bad.
I know, right?
And I have like 6 Bulbasaurs. And I'm saving them all so like I can check their IVs and get a really good Venusaur, because that's just the one thing I really really want.
Oh, I hear you. But otherwise, yeah, I hatched those. I did. I've gone out, while walking and whatnot, and going towards Pokestops. I did finally get a 10K egg. I know RJ was talking about those. So I'm starting to work on that. I think I'm like 1 or 1.5K into that already.
I still haven't even gotten any of those before.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what that's about. Maybe I don't hit up enough Pokestops, but I've never seen a 10K egg.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got mine while I also grew to level 10 now. I'm not in the double digits now. I guess that's kind of a good thing.
Attaboy, he's on the board.
Yeah. But so maybe that's a thing. Maybe you need to be like level 10 or something. I don't know. But I do have that. And I've noticed there's a Tauros spawn not too far from my apartment that I've definitely caught a couple at this point. I caught one a while ago, but I think now I'm up to 3 that I have, which is kind of cool.
Did you guys know that Tauros is North American?
Yeah, I did. I think we did hear that.
Yeah, did we talk about that on the
cool.
podcast yet?
We might have. Yeah, I think we did. That Tauros is North American, and I can't remember what all the different continents are.
RJ, what were the other ones?
I remember Kangaskhan is Australian, isn't
Yeah,
he?
Kangaskhan's
that's true.
Australia. Mr. Mime is Europe.
That's beautiful.
Farfetch'd is Japan.
Oh,
And I can't think of any other ones, because I don't think South America even has the game.
oh. Huh.
What about Africa?
If South America doesn't have the game, I don't think Africa has the game. But
They will be the last to get it.
Yeah.
Right. But if Antarctica gets the game, they'll just get a Piplup, I guess. I don't know.
Or like a seal.
Yeah. But
Huh. Okay, cool.
but yeah, just kind of hanging out. What about you, Ken? You staying true to your fitness goals?
I'm trying. I've definitely gone on a few runs.
yeah, you were running today when I was texting you.
Yep, yeah, and I was super excited because I got home from work and I immediately wanted to go running, and I looked at the Pokemon tracker and it said that there was a Scyther nearby, and I was like, oh my god, and then I went out running and he was like right out my door pretty much,
Oh,
like
wow.
down the road a little bit. And I
Nice.
was really excited to catch him because I haven't even seen him show up yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, and so besides him, just caught. I mean, on my runs, I usually on my runs things don't really, like new ones don't really spawn or anything. My new ones usually come from eggs, and recently I've gotten a Ponyta. I got that this morning. Nice. I was super excited about that.
Yeah, that's cool. I had one of those hatch from an egg a couple weeks ago too. That was pretty exciting. That's
cool. And that's like I said, that's the only way that I get Pokemon on my walks during my lunch break is hatching eggs. But yeah, oh man, today was a super rough run. It was 94 degrees outside. Ooh. It was really crazy, but and I'm getting a little bit better at catching Pokemon while I run. So that way I won't have to stop at all.
Without throwing your phone down the street.
That's almost happened quite a few times. There was one point, it was near the end of my run, and a Zubat showed up, and I kept missing, and then I stopped, and I like held my hand and my phone in one hand, and I swiped with the other one, and I literally went like, Hah! Just to like, I don't know, it just came out just because I was like tired and kind of running, and I was just like, man, that was good. I caught on that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like the story of Zubats too. Like that I don't know if they just have like a smaller hitbox or what. That like I feel like that's the general consensus from what I hear online and whatnot is that they're just not easy to catch.
Yeah,
whatever is true.
And they like fly around everywhere too, and it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time a Zubat pops up, it seems like you really have to like huck the thing.
Yeah.
Like they're always really far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. If you kind of like wait until you're right on top of the Pokemon, does that affect how far away it looks when you're trying to catch it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I mean, I put it this way, I guess, that I've been like really far from Pokemon, like to the point where I wonder if I'm like, it's some sort of like bug or something that I'm still able to actually tap it and catch it, and it seems to still be, the same distance. Not any further away than any other Pokemon. So, so I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, over the weekend I also went downtown again, which has a lot of new Pokemon that I don't get anywhere else. And I got a Wigglytuff that was on Main Street. That was pretty fun.
Oh, cool.
I got a good picture of him. I love getting good pictures of the Pokemon too.
Yeah,
especially when
it's
not really like I don't need to move or anything. It's just great. I took a really good picture of. I got a Psyduck, and it was actually.
Oh, I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was actually like I got one that was actually in a duck pond. It was really good, with a bunch of ducks around it. So that's always pretty fun.
Their fearless leader.
And then there was also a Dratini that I caught downtown, that was good too.
Ooh, that's not your first Dratini,
too, man. There's like so many gyms downtown too. It's like crazy.
That's cool. That's
and it's always fun when you're around Pokestops and everyone is just kind of sitting around doing it. So that's always a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can always tell. I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, the down the street from me, there's that beautiful Subway shop that you can stop. You can just sit there in the front corner and just sit at two Pokestops at once and just constantly just go back and forth getting all these items.
Oh yeah, waft in that freshly baked bread smell.
Yes.
You know what I wish you could do though?
Huh.
So one of the things I've noticed is I really, really stack up a lot of revives because I just don't use them that much.
Right.
Same here.
And I wish you could like trade in, like even if it's a large amount, like 10 of some item. I wish you could trade in items for maybe other things.
Or or like Pikachu coins or whatever they're called.
Yeah, like maybe like 20, like even like if it was like 25 revives for like one Ultra Ball, like I totally do that.
Yeah,
I agree. Just any sort of, I mean, they have that in the Pokemon games, right? It's just like any other RPG that you can sell your loot and sell it back to get any sort of money and use it to buy other things. But hopefully that'll come in someday.
Do you just not go to the gyms that much, or are you that big of a badass that you just show up there and you're like, just kind of brush them off, just wipe the whole gym?
Well, no, my Pokemon aren't like that good or anything. So like I honestly I don't challenge like gyms that much unless I really know I can do it, So I've never like overextended myself and had to use a bunch of revives. I use a bunch of potions because I always try to train up gyms, but I don't always threaten big, powerful gyms that are going to eat up my revives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's good. RJ, you gotta set some more fitness goals here.
It needs to stop being so damn hot out.
Oh yeah,
that is true. That is definitely true.
It was like 108 today with like the humidity.
Holy hell!
I live in a swamp.
It would be kind of interesting if they held off on some Pokemons for certain seasons. Like if in the summer they only had certain ones, and then as it started to turn around in October and November comes by, it actually like different Pokemon start to show up. I wonder if that's going to be a part of it.
They should,
I wonder.
Especially if they start adding other generations, because the other generations do have some of them do have seasonal forms.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Like there's a Pokemon called Deerling. It's a little deer. And its little antlers change. Like at spring, it's flowers, and fall, it's leaves.
Oh, that's cool.
There's other little differences, like there's a Pokemon called Burmy, and if you find it in a forest, it'll have like an armory skin type thing made of leaves. If you find it in the desert, it'll be out of sand. If you find it in a city, it'll be out of trash.
Oh. So that's like a KFC bucket on it.
Well, in the game, it just looks it just looks like pink for whatever reason, but it's described as trash, but it doesn't actually look like trash. That would be awesome, though.
A KFC bucket. Yeah, that would be good. Huh. Man, I just thought of that. That any way for them to kind of stretch it out and have you look forward to, different types of stuff. Like one of the things that I loved about Animal Crossing is that it was like real time. How there was nighttime and there was different events that actually correspond to the calendar year. So unless you didn't feel if you didn't cheat and didn't change the date on your DS or whatever, you you would always have new things to kind of look forward to in the game. And I think that's something that they could totally take advantage of with this game.
Yeah, they should have Delibirds at Christmas and stuff.
Yeah,
that would be sweet.
Yeah,
or even have certain events that are that show up where if you get a certain amount of Pokemon, you'll get a Christmas gift around Christmas time or something like that.
Oh, I saw a cool idea that was like that. I think it was on the Pokemon Go subreddit. It would be this Team Rocket event where you'd see a bunch of Team Rocket hot air balloons show up around a gym. And the gym would be populated by, there would be, Team Rocket Pokemon in the gym and Team Rocket grunts around the gym.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
And I was kind of thinking, expanding on that, if whoever gets to the last person, it should be Giovanni or something, and you should get a good reward for beating him. And maybe if a certain team beats enough, the most Rocket grunts or kicks the most Pokemon out of that Rocket gym, that whole team should get rewarded somehow.
Yeah, that would be cool. And I mean, if you post that these things are going to happen, you'll get a lot of people kind of have stuff to look forward to, where they're they kind of do that with Splatoon with the Splatfest, where they announce it a week early, and then everyone picks their side, and then when the weekend comes, they get to fight for it, and everything changes. Where the square or whatever that's in Splatoon is decorated differently, and it's nighttime, and it's a big party, and they could totally do tons of stuff like that, and businesses could take advantage of that by either decorating their establishment or kind of just advertising different cool stuff with that, and any more ways, I guess, to make it interactive and kind of spread it out so it stays relevant throughout the whole year instead of just being update to update, but have it constantly changing. That I'm really excited about that, and I don't think about this too much until I start talking with you guys. What could possibly happen with this? But that would be really cool. Do you think that eventually they would kind of scatter NPCs even out away from gyms and Pokestops?
I don't know about NPCs just being all over. That would be
mini gyms.
They could, yeah. But it's not that hardcore of a game that I'd imagine they'd throw a lot of RPG stuff into it.
Yeah,
because they even with the CP and no stats and 2 moves, they still, you can tell they tried to reel back with the RPG stuff to make it really accessible. But of course, as the game progresses, the people who are going to stay aren't going to be so casual anymore.
Right.
So it could be feasible to start adding stuff like that and not worry about alienating anybody.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Eventually, I feel like the game does have to evolve a little bit, or you know, I don't know if there would be any sort of like expansions or anything like that, or whether it is just future updates. But you know what I mean, that eventually the hype will die off, and the it'll be the more hardcore Pokemon fans that may end up staying anyway, and you would have to kind of satisfy that hunger and keep everybody interested, and maybe it would just take these real time events that Kenny is talking about, but but otherwise, yeah, I could certainly see adding a little bit more of the RPG, just gradually bringing things in. I don't know.
Which I would love.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
I wonder how long it's before they start adding like clothes to put on your Pokemon. Like bandanas and hats and all sorts of crazy stuff like that.
Pikachu party hats.
Party hats.
I mean, that'd be hilarious if you like go to a gym and you see like a Gyarados wearing like a trucker hat or something. Or has like a pair of sunglasses on.
And he keeps showing up like every week, like the trainer just keeps on winning, and he just starts becoming your nemesis. That kind of
But if you have these events like we were talking about, they could have those items, those cosmetic items, as rewards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like if they do have like a Christmassy type event or anything like that, like they can give away Santa hats,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or put a mistletoe above a Jinx or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. They could do a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, who knows?
Huh. Yeah, definitely a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Did you guys did you hear about how Niantic is now putting things in place to start kicking people out for cheating by using like mods to, sit on your couch and be able to travel around and do stuff?
Yeah, I heard they were getting serious about it. I didn't hear any of the details that they were taking,
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. I wonder how exactly. Is it like I know that it's possible, but is that something that you do like through your laptop, or do you do that through your phone?
Well, there's different ways to cheat, Like there's all sorts of stuff. The ones I know about were people installing it on their computer and then manipulating the GPS coordinates. But I'm sure there's other ways to cheat on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start. That's for sure. But yeah, that would be where I would guess would be the thing is somehow getting into your GPS, either some sort of software and playing around with the maps and being able to move around like that without actually moving around. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of saw the headlines that things were they are starting to crack down, but I haven't really heard any singular like specific cases or anything as to what's happened or.
I did see a couple cases of non-offenders getting banned.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure it's not like a big problem, or else we definitely like hear more about it.
Yeah.
But just browsing around, I did see a couple people be like, "Yo, I have like a lot of kilometers on my account, but I did get those legitimately."
Yeah, when I was out running today, I like looked at my phone and the little notice came up that said like, "Are you a passenger? It seems like you're driving." And at first I was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know it was going that fast." Then when I realized, I was like, "Wait a second, I'm not actually going that fast." And then I read it as like it was being super like super sarcastic, being like, "Whoa, look who's in a car. He's going so fast. You're a passenger, right?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I don't know what was causing that. It must have been just because I was swinging my arm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Can you actually see how far you've walked with the app open?
There are achievements, and I'd be surprised if one of them wasn't like distance based.
Oh yeah, I should look at that. I haven't even seen that yet. I guess even you can see your progress through the medals, so you can probably even estimate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you know what? There definitely is I think it's called like the jogger or something like that. That yeah, it definitely does track how many kilometers uh, that you've walked total.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I don't know. I can't imagine there's any sort of like limit to that. Like I know I think the first um, like milestone was 10 kilometers or something like that. I can't remember what the second one is, but
Yeah.
or if it's just every 10 kilometers that you just get like a little medal, but
Yeah.
or if it just keeps tracking you and you only get the one medal. I don't know, but yeah, there definitely is something in those achievements.
Yeah. But that whole banning thing, that's pretty recent in the news. But something that we haven't talked about yet, but came out a little while ago, was they kind of changed the interface of the tracking system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where for me, it always appears as there's grass behind whatever I'm tracking, but I've seen in screenshots online that it actually points out Pokestop locations if something's close to it. How does that work?
So this update happened literally right when we finished recording last time.
Oh, right, that's true.
And right now, most people, it says sightings and has a little grass, which the first time I saw it scared the crap out of me, because I was like, oh crap, they're getting rid of the tracking just in general.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But right now, in San Francisco, I know specifically, but there are others, like a few others, like, you know, all over the place that also got this. They're beta testing the new tracking, which it shows you a picture of a Pokestop, and it tells you if there's a Pokemon near it.
Uh-huh.
So instead of giving you a little range, you know, the 3 steps, and you walking around trying to find it, it shows you a picture, which you can just check Pokestops near you to find out which one it is, and you can go to that Pokestop and it'll tell you which Pokemon are near it.
That's interesting, but I feel like that's kind of for a limited. Well, maybe it's not that limited of a market, but you know, it definitely excludes people like in kind of your situation, you know, where you might not live near or you know, could go a whole day without seeing a Pokestop kind of thing.
Right.
That could really limit that, but I don't know. I'd be curious.
There's
if
definitely
that's
pros
just a
and
part
cons to
of it. Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if you were able to, like, if you visited a Pokestop, if you could, like, either use an item or, like, something where you could kind of, like, pin it, and you can say, like, I visited this, I want to see, like, in the future, like have it in my interface saying, like, when Pokemon show up to it, or maybe if that's just, like, once, and you say, like, you know, have this until I go to it again and get a Pokemon from it, because I mean, that'd be kind of cool to have, like, frequent locations, because I know that would work for me, because I only have one Pokestop near me, and I don't even think it would show up on the tracking, because it's like probably like a couple minutes drive away. So it'd be kind of cool to at least have that where you could kind of fill up a board, maybe like 9 locations that you have been to, and then it'll say, like, oh, like a Psyduck was, you know, sighted here, or something that you don't have is showed up here.
Yeah,
where,
like
yeah.
What if you it could be like a Periscope like type item, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And then
Something that just,
you'd plug it in
look.
like a lure module, but it could even, like, maybe if a rare Pokemon shows up, like, it could give you a notification, you know?
Yeah, and I think that Pokevision was kind of onto something where that is pretty useful, because, like we mentioned in the podcast, we're like, well, if Pokemon rich locations, like, you know, downtown for me, and, like, you know, for you guys there are other spots, it's like you kind of want to know if it's worth going to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it is within a certain distance where, you know, either a Pokemon you see that it, like, shows up frequently, like, if you look at it and you say, okay, I've seen this, like, if I check it, you know, so many times, I see that this shows up, you know, not really, like, these certain times of the day, but, like, it's been showing up there a lot, so I know that if I go there, I have a, you know, decent chance of finding it.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of allows you to have some idea, instead of having to, like, drive around or, like, have to travel very far to actually get to the Pokemon.
But some people saw a lot of the fun was in the hunt.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is definitely true.
So it is a pro being able to see what is there and know where it is. But a lot of people did like wandering around and really finding it and getting those, 3 steps down to 0 and then getting rewarded for it.
Yeah. So on that level, it would be cool if it was kind of like a rare or slightly expensive in terms of maybe like using like either Pokemon coins that you could purchase, or like if you get to a certain, every level you get a certain amount of like things to spend where you could drop it at certain areas that could either be single use or multi-use or whatever, but make it so that they're kind of not, super usable or super easy to get, but it just kind of adds another dimension to it. Or I guess when you said Periscope, did you mean like maybe I could be at home and I could like open the GPS and kind of either look at places I've already been, or maybe just look around on like whatever interface they have and like click one of them and say, I want to know what's here right now, and maybe that's like one use of like whatever item that is?
What I was thinking was, it was, an item like you plug in to a stop, like a lure module, and because, like you can't go check other gyms or other stops like from one location, it only shows you what's nearby. So what if you could like, go downtown, plug in a Periscope into a Pokestop, go home, and then it'll give you a little push notification, like if a rare Pokemon comes near that stop, and tell you how long it's going to be there for. And then you can be like, oh, cool, let's go run downtown real quick and get like a Hypno or get something cool,
Yeah, like a Pokemon trail cam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty neat, actually. That'd be cool. I saw a picture of someone on Instagram posted that there was an actual like trail that had a sign posted that said like, don't go off the trail to find Pokemon, even if they're legendary, which is kind of funny because I was like, oh man, that was like kind of like my fantasy of actually like going around the woods and like looking for Pokemon, because that'd be like really cool. But I mean, I definitely see how they don't want people like, running around a park that people want to enjoy and getting hurt at and having to bring in life flight and freaking because someone fell in a river because they were looking for a Pokemon. Yeah, but I guess that also depends on how well of reception you'll get, or well of like reception of internet you'll get out there in the woods. That could be an issue. So RJ, do you have any tips this weekend? Like last week, last time we recorded, you kind of told us a little bit about how CP is calculated and how we could use that to our advantage. Is there anything this week that you've either learned of recently or have stored up that we could probably use?
Well, today I just learned a little handy dandy technique for throwing Pokeballs that actually I tested it just a little bit before we started, and it actually did kind of work pretty well.
What's that?
It's called the L throw. And how it works is, you tap the ball in the middle, you drag it all the way to the left to the corner of the screen, and then you push your finger up, the very side of your screen up to the, up the height up to where the Pokemon actually is, and it actually hits it like pretty damn frequently.
So you move the Pokeball to the the left of your screen, and then
all the way to the corner.
Throw it. Okay, so you throw it like diagonal or straight up the side of your phone?
You keep your finger on the side of your phone and you just drag it up to the height of where the Pokemon is on the screen. And
does it release automatically, or do you have to release it still?
You have to release it, but I don't think it would work so well in AR mode. I haven't tried it, but it just seems like it wouldn't, because when you do it, you'll notice like, you pull the Pokeball all the way to the side of the screen, but when you let go, it curves and like right into the center.
Okay, so it actually is a curveball.
It doesn't like you can spin it and make it a curveball, and it'll still hit pretty much like every single time. But it doesn't necessarily curve, but it does go right into the middle of the screen. So if you pull your finger up to where the height is, like you'll hit it.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely have to try that.
The L throw. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll have to give that a try.
I only tried it a few times, like right before we started, but it did seem pretty reliable.
That's cool. Do you have Pokemon like where you're sitting?
Sometimes, yeah.
Huh. Oh, that never happens for me. I'm sure that's gonna be on what is it on Zillow, on where you like the online house shopping. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way,
It's
tons of Pokemon here.
It's already on Yelp.
Oh, really?
On Yelp, it'll tell you if there's a Pokestop nearby.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's glorious.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I think that'll do it for this week. How about you guys?
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. All right, well, we're still posting pictures of new Pokemon that we get, so follow the Twitter and Facebook group. And these, as of right now, these episodes are released on YouTube, so if you have any suggestions for subjects to talk about, why don't you leave it in a comment and let us know how we're doing. I'm looking forward to hearing your stories about your adventures in Pokemon Go, and we'll be happy to address any questions that you have on the show. Sound good, guys?
Yep.
Sounds
See you
good.
guys next week.
All right, see ya.
Talk to you later.